All right, hello everybody. So, hashtag Viggy. I don't know what the fuck what this intro is, but yeah, this video has been on my mind for a while, right? I am now officially 3 years into drawing, right? I started November 1st, 2022. It is November 22nd as of 27th as of the day of this recording. November, what the fuck am I saying? 2025. I'll try to not curse as much because I do want. I mean, it's already too late. I've completely butchered the video, but I would love for this video to reach as many people as possible because I really want to encourage, motivate, but also ground the reality for beginner artists, because this video is for beginner artists, right? And it's a walk down sort of my own journey as to all the practice I did. This stack that you see, right? This stack that you see is the practice that I did from November 1st, 2022 to November, to basically, let's say like August, October ish, 2024, right? Before I started my channel. My channel I started in December, right? There's a little bit of practice here regarding art wad. Again, art wad. So my practice was draw a box, right? Draw a box, and then for the first 7 months, 8 months, and then art wad. And art wad has been the backbone, the foundation of my foundations ever since, right? And I started art wad on April 1st, 2023, right? So I've been trying to think about how I'm gonna start this video, but again, let's just start. This is for beginner artists, right? If at any point in this video, feel free to skip around. If you see a part, like a page in which the skill shown is reflective of your current ability, I would encourage you to stay, right? If it's gonna be long. It's gonna be very long. Yeah, so yeah, feel free to skip around. I'm not gonna edit this. When have I ever edited my videos? But I'm definitely not gonna edit this because I want this to be an honest, very real reflection of the work I did and the work that will be done by anybody on this path and the work that you can do as well. And I want to distill in all my thoughts when I was going through this because again, I'm like, this is my intro, so I guess I'm gonna be all over the place. But like, this is very close to my heart. This is the only time I'll ever be emotional. It's the only time I'm ever gonna feel, emotional, I guess, in a sense. But like, I feel so strongly about being a beginner as an artist, right? Like, again, as you can see, my first things I did was lines, right? Draw box, lines. Now, many of you will look at this and be like, oh my God, like, oh no, I have to draw lines. Oh, it's so boring, blah, 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 right? We'll get to that because I really want to instill a proper mindset in this video as well. But more than anything, this video is for beginners who want to care, who do care, and who want to put an effort, and who want to understand what type of effort they should be putting in, right? How much effort? Where is the effort being directed? How do you put effort? Like, this is because it's not going to resonate with every beginner. And again, like, parts of this video will resonate with you. Please take that, right? Parts of this video won't resonate with you. Please take that and shove it up my ass, right? Like, it's completely fine for specific things I say for you to be like, okay, that actually really helped. And specific things I say, probably many things I say for you to be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Can we like, subscribe, and make sure I watch every video? This is a fucking indoctrination, right? Hashtag Viggy famming. That's just my attempt to create a name. Remember when people used to create names for the audiences? Bro Army, right? What's it called? Homies, Sly Fox Hound, right? I'm not gonna go on a tangent. Knobs for life, all that shit. And I have like notes written down. I'm already completely derailing from the notes, but I have notes written down because this introduction part of this video, I want to set a precedent. So yeah, this video has been on my mind for a while. Let's start from the beginning, right? This video has been on my mind for a while. I'm starting to forget. I was gonna do this at the 5-year mark, but basically I'm literally starting to forget what it's like to be a beginner, right? In the sense that, like, I'm starting to forget the emotional attachment I had to this extremely difficult journey. Was that a spoiler? I wonder if that spoiled anything. And I'm also just checking if the audio and video is good. I did get a new mic, so this was supposed to be a better mic. I mainly got it because my mic kept dying and I needed one with 2 transmitters, I believe, right? That's the mic, right? That's transmitter, I believe. Or receiver, I don't fucking know. But 2 mics and with a charging case. That's the only reason. But I think the noise cancellation on this is shittier, so I do apologize. This is the mic I'm going to be using forward. Maybe the background music's going to be louder now to offset the white noise of my fan. But yeah, I was going to wait until the 5-year mark, but I'm starting to forget. And that is very scary to me because I feel very strongly about just how much work it takes to be a beginner and how difficult that path is, and the journey I went through to reframe my mindset from being like, okay, it's gonna work, because I had unwavering belief that the foundations and the fundamentals were going to work. Unwavering belief. So that's the number one thing. It's like I just believed it would work because I saw artists and they said it would work, and I didn't listen to myself. I listened to people who were much better than me, right? So if at any point in this video you see something where you're like, this guy's much better than me, please, like, the main thing I'm always trying to say is fundamentals, foundations, and more than anything, to enjoy and focus on the effort. But I'm jumping ahead, right? So before I forget, before I truly lose all my genuine attachment and energy I have towards how passionate I am as in terms of giving advice to beginners. And that's another reason I wanted to make this video, is because, dude, I'm so fucking tired of giving the same advice to beginners. Not in a mean way, but beginners will always have the same questions. And there's only so many ways you can say the same thing. And I explain things in a very particular way. Sometimes it resonates with people, right? They're like, because the main advice I always give is repetitions, intent, effort, and just focusing on the repetitions, intent, effort, and mistakes, right? Like, to enjoy the mistakes, to enjoy the efforts, because a successful drawing session is one where you just put a lot of effort in. And that's it. What else can we do? You can't control how fast you learn the skill, right? Skill, I want to really emphasize, not talent. None of this is a talent. Skill. Look at these lines. Okay, I just want to point out, like, look at these lines. Where's the skill in these lines, right? Behind every line is just sheer anxiety, because I started drawing in pen, right? So I literally brute forced myself to be like, I'm gonna draw in pen, because I had a horrible beginner habit of just scritching over the lines. And if you feel like that calls you out, good. I'm glad it calls you out, because we need to be honest with ourselves, to our capabilities, where we want to be, and how we're going about it, right? And again, this video will not resonate with everyone. I wanted to reach the people who want to give a shit, right? And I want this video to be inspiring, hopefully, to those people that, like, oh shit, I'm ass, and he was ass in the beginning. You know, when, like, every artist who's really good, who we look up to, is like, oh, I was bad in the beginning too, but you don't see it. Here it is. Here's the first 2 years. You are going to see exactly how bad I was, how for months on end there was no visual discernible progress, and I just kept going, because all I could do is keep going, right? If I stop, then I failed. But if I didn't stop, then the failures were just lessons to just keep going, right? So yeah, the video's been on my mind for a while, right? But I want to set a few precedents for this video. Oh, and let me just finish my fucking train of thought. Jesus Christ. Anybody who watches my content knows I'm all over the place. So I do encourage you to draw along and listen, right? Please draw along, right? So you're not just staring at a page full of lines and some dickhead speaking in the background, right? But yeah, beginner artists keep asking the same questions. I keep giving the same advice. And then I realized that a lot of them, it's like half and half. Half of them will say, thank you, that's really helpful. And the other half will completely ignore me, just like it happened yesterday on the ArtWad Discord, right? Someone's like, hey, I'm struggling, I'm barely understand boxes. How can I do, but I'm on the cylinder intersection section. Should I move on? What should I do? So I just broke it down, and I was like, listen, you gotta do a lot more reps of the thing you're shit at. So if you barely understand boxes, you gotta do hundreds of that shit, right? And then once that weakness is no longer a glaring weakness, then you move on to the next thing. Somebody responded to what I said, being like, this guy's right, like, this is exactly how you go about it, right? Oh, before I forget, let me just establish that this is 2 years in. My channel is from the end of the 2 year mark, the beginning of the 3 year mark and onward. And if you're wondering, like, what is my current capability, these are my current drawings. These are my, like, I haven't recorded these. I'm taking a break from recording, but I have a backlog, so everything's set in that sense. I hope you can see this clearly. Yeah, so this is me just practicing designing interesting shapes, right? I got some good feedback from the ArtWad Discord during one of their Fundamental Fridays, like, group sessions or whatever, right? I got really good feedback, so thank you to all of those individuals. Ian, the community support member, his name is the one I specifically remember, so he gave me some good advice. But yeah, this is my current capability. This is what I can do pen only from imagination, right? This is my current structural understanding. After they gave me advice, here's what I started doing. You see how, like, this, by the way, 25, 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. It takes time, and it takes a lot of just thinking. Drawing is thinking, right? This is thinking. And this took the exact same amount of energy, cognitive effort, and yeah, like, this took the same amount of cognitive energy and mental effort and ability to just focus and visualize as this did. So the amount of energy you put in does not change. the output, right? The things you can hold in your mind changes. And by the way, this is with this brush pen, right? Pentel brush sign pen artist. Really fucking retarded name, but it is what it is, right? Pentel knows how to market. I'm just a hashtag YouTuber, what do I know? But yeah, and this was with an extremely thick fine liner that, you know, Drawbox recommends, right? So there you go, like already much of a level up in skill. So this is my structural understanding. And these are my last two imagination drawings, which you can check out on my stream. Yeah, you can, whatever, fucking check out on my stream, right? So this is my drawing for imagination. This is what I'm capable of. This was a few months ago, and this was like a month ago. Feel free to pause at any point in the video, but like I hope this really understands. In 3 years, I went from this. These were the first lines I ever put down in intentional practice. I started at the age of 25, by the way. I'm 25. Okay, or I'm 28 now, sorry. Yeah, but I started at 25. Up until the point I started this, I had drawn maybe 30 drawings in my entire life. The only reason I was ever considered talented is because I was patient, right? But as you can see, and as you will see, there's zero natural ability here, right? Like these lines are not good, you know, and they're extremely shaky and wavery. And the only reason they don't even look as bad as they could is because a thick fine liner makes it easier to mask it. You're about to see why when I switched to brush pen, it was essentially like being a beginner again, right? I don't know how long this video will be, which is why I encourage you to skip around. But yeah, man, holy shit, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. But yeah, so these are my current imaginative, how do I even put this? This is not good. Let me just start what I want at a time. This is my current imaginative abilities, right? 2.5 years in. This is like 2 years and 8 months in, right? It's been 3 years now total, right? So there you go. Now, I hope this establishes that what I'm about to tell you does result in progress, right? Hopefully this sets the precedent as well. Like I'm not talking out of my ass. I do have skills to back up what I'm about to say, right? If this type of progress is something you want to achieve, right? If you want to understand how this can be achieved, I would implore you to watch this video. At least keep me on the background, right? Give me retention. That's really important. I need that fucking retention. And draw in the background. Do what you gotta do. But either way, I hope this video reaches people. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But this is something that's really important to me. So there you go. Let's get that out of the way. It's been like what, fucking, oh wow, I've just been blathering, I don't know, for 10 minutes. That's really good. That's really good progress. This is gonna be an 8-hour video. I'm proud of myself. So yeah, let me just go through my notes, see if there's anything else. Okay, yeah, so the progress you see in this video is from the first 2 years, and this is essentially all of the drawing I did. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week on average. I'm fucking unemployed now, so for the past 8 months, it's been roughly 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So let's just say for the first 2 years, it was like 5 to 7 hours a week of practice for the first 2 years, right? And then now for the past year, 8 to 9 months, it's been roughly, let's just say 7 to 11 hours of practice a week, right? And you'll see, like, because I've started documenting from the beginning of the 3rd year and onwards, that you'll see I still only practice fundamentals, obviously along with imagination drawings, but everything I do is grounded in fundamentals and challenging myself. But let's go through the beginning into what actually made me be this person who's better than you. But, oh wait, let me go through my notes. Yeah, the first video on my channel, which is the intro video, is the progress of the reference drawings I did before and after I started officially practicing art. So in that video, when I talk about anything related to all the practice I did with the fundamentals, it's related to everything in this video, right? This is what I refer to, like when I say, oh, I did all of this, right? If anything, what I say resonates, please do internalize. If anything doesn't, then please do shove it up my ass or let it marinate. Haha, funny joke that I had to write down, right? Because I don't actually have a sense of humor. Okay, so another thing, the fundamentals are the biggest ROI, the biggest return on investment that you can have when it comes to where you focus your effort, and specifically the fundamentals in this case as a true beginner, because true beginners evidently we can't draw lines. We can't draw good lines, clean lines, confident lines, and we don't understand perspective and we don't understand form. That is true beginner, okay? Like if you cannot, like this is why Drawbox starts with lines. I have my qualms with Drawbox, and I think ArtWad is superior in all aspects. But one thing I'm really glad that they emphasize is like you can't consider yourself to be adept at even putting down a mark if the mark you put down is just mediocre, right? So we need to make sure the marks we put down have purpose, intent, and structure, right? Structure at least in the terms of like you're doing it, you know, repetition and all that stuff. Right, and okay, last thing, right, or second last thing in my notes, again, the effort that you put in, and this is a mindset that I really had to reinforce while I went through this journey, and I'll be talking about all of that, but the effort that you put in is literally the only thing that matters. The effort you put in and the mistakes you make and the mindset that you have towards them are the only things that matter, right? If you want the neuroscience behind it, When you focus on the effort and that's all that matters to you, that's growth mindset. It's a mindset, right? And when you focus on the errors and you literally forcefully attach good feelings to those errors, in terms of like, neuroscience perspective, your brain expedites the learning process, because when you make mistakes and we recognize those mistakes, we literally, and we feel good about those mistakes, our brain focuses on those mistakes, and in the background, spacing effect, gap effect, all that stuff, it's trying to figure it out, right? But either way, and at the end of the day, last note, I hope this inspires you, the beginner that I used to be, right? Like, I hope this inspires you, the beginner that I used to be. Let this video be a staple that will be referred to for generations when I am great. Anyone can draw. Become great with me. That shit gave me chills. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. Hashtag Viggy merchandise, right? Viggy famming on the Viggy online art store. I don't know. The whole Viggy famming thing is going to shit. It's not really working. I have like 2 subscribers who seem to really enjoy it, right? And for them, I'm running it into the ground. But anyways, let's start. Okay, let's start, right? So, lines, right? Just lines. How am I gonna organize these pages? Whatever. Okay, so none of these aren't double-sided. It becomes double-sided a little bit in, right? But there you go. Drawbox, lesson 1, lines. Did that. I was going through extreme anxiety for the first 6 months. Like for the first 6 months of drawing, right? Just lines. The one thing that Drawbox really put it into, like, it's just repetition, but they explain it horribly. Let's be honest, right? Like Irshad Karim, the guy who created Drawbox, he's a disciple of Peter Hahn, right? The dynamic Bible and the dynamic drawing, I believe, right? That whole education platform from Art Center, right? Like, I'm not saying he's bad at art. I'm not saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm saying the way he describes the art process focuses too much on the suffering, and it doesn't it does not make the word suffering, what's it called? He doesn't, instead of saying effort, he says suffering. Like, he basically, that's how he explains it. Maybe I'm butchering how I'm saying this, but the point is, when I went through this the first time, because I failed twice, by the way. I tried drawing in 2020, but I was fucking smoking all the time. My brain was all fogged up. I couldn't think, right? So yeah, like I literally couldn't draw. I was a fucking complete waste man. Like I couldn't. After 1 week, this is how my first time attempting to draw in 2020 went. Right, I did 1 page like this, and I did that twice. So I did 2 pages over the course of 1 week, and I'm like, I don't see progress, and then I gave up. Like, come on, I don't see progress after 2 fucking pages. Is what I said, right? So that should already tell you that, I wasn't serious. My mindset was so subpar. Let me just move this page out of the way so it's not getting in your line of sight. We need the video to be aesthetic, do we not? But yeah, I think he focuses too much on fear and like, you will fail, but he doesn't explain why failing is a good thing. So here I am explaining why these failures, like, again, lines are very, like, look at that, bro. Like, this dot here and a dot there, and it just, I couldn't do anything. Some of you will say, hey, your lines were pretty clean. I understand some of you will say that. Some of you will say, I can't even draw. But the point is, no matter where you start, and I personally believe if you're like me, which is completely average or below average, that it's purely through effort that we can get better, right? Because most people are we're all on a bell curve of slightly better and slightly worse at some things, right? My motor skills, because this is when I was drawing with my shoulder, were horrible, right? Like, and again, by the way, like, every single line gave me a fucking panic attack, basically, right? Maybe I'm using that word in a bit of a hyperbolic sense, but the point is, it was very, 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 very scary. So again, just kept going, lines, like, just the fear I felt. Like, this is why I wanted to make this video now, because, dude, every time I put down a line like this, there's that feeling in my gut. There was just a feeling in my gut. It was so strong. It was just terror. But I just had to keep pushing through. Why? Because I simply had to believe that this would work. And I just wanted to be someone that could actually put effort into something and get better, right? I didn't think about it back then, right? Like this back then, in terms of effort and stuff. I just thought, okay, it works, just gotta keep going. But you'll notice that my progress was pretty mediocre when I did Drawbox. It's when I switched to Artwad is when things really started to take off. So Artwad. I'm not affiliated, I'm just a huge dick rider. They'll probably never acknowledge me because, I swear and blah, 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 right? But this video isn't about that. This video is for the beginner. Hashtag you are not alone. I'm trying to think of good clickbait titles that I can put in the video, but it's honestly just the truth. I'm probably going to use the one that says countless pages of failures or the first 2 years. We'll see what YouTube analytics says does better. But yeah, again, more ghosted planes, page 2, trying to understand perspective. But again, like this, I feel as if the biggest problem with Drawbox is it makes you draw so big, right? Like I understand they're trying to have you zoom out and think about perspective in a larger sense, but it's so difficult to think. That's another thing I want to talk about. It is so difficult to think because beginners, I feel as if myself included in the beginning, we do not understand that drawing is thinking, right? Just have to sip on my cold ass tea because all I've been doing is talking, but we don't understand that drawing is thinking, right? Let me say that again. Drawing is thinking. The motor skill is only 30 to 40% of it, but the effort and intent you put behind what you're about to make is the most excruciatingly difficult thing. And I don't see that in like, oh, it's pain, blah, blah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just very difficult to think. Maybe I shouldn't use the word excruciating. Again, I'm not trying to make this seem as if it's like the fucking, it's the death of the heat death of the universe or some shit, right? But I want to make it very clear, okay? So hopefully this puts it into context again. The amount of cognitive effort that I put towards each ellipse is the same amount of cognitive effort that I put towards each line and overall shape and form. The only thing that changed was my understanding and application and skill. That's the only thing. This and this took the same amount of effort. Okay, let's make that very clear, which is why continuing to continue is the most important thing you can do, because you will get better at putting in consistent effort. And again, neuroplasticity, your brain learns, you get better, you keep challenging yourself, you keep literally pushing the fucking, the limits of what you're capable of. But in both of these examples, I was just trying my fucking hardest to just think as hard as I can while applying the line. And that's another thing. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about during this section of like the first 6 to 8 months of practice, right? And I'll be all over the place. And again, keep me on the background. If this helps, it helps. If it doesn't, feel free to skip around. But I hope that my words will have some meaning to someone who is in that place where they're like, I want to draw, like me. Like I always wanted to draw. I never fucking did really properly, or just they want to get better, or they want to put in effort. They want to care. Anybody who cares, I hope this video, genuinely, you listen to it and you take your time with it. Amidst all my swearing, my rambling, my fucking goonery, right? Like I really, really fucking hope. Because I've never been more serious about any video than this one. Right, which is saying a lot because I'm never serious, but but anyways, right, drawing while thinking, like thinking while drawing, whatever, same thing, is extremely difficult. When you are a beginner, and let me just prove a point right here, right, perspective, horizon line, already like a perfect fucking page to prove my point, right? This line is extremely difficult, right? Just drawing a steady line is extremely difficult. Right, with good pen pressure, not pressing too hard, not pressing too little, right? Already 3 different meta skills, right? Sub skills inside the main skill. Main skill, draw a line. Meta skill, sub skill, draw a line with good pen pressure. Visualize where you're starting and where you're ending. Make it consistent while you're drawing the line. Make sure you can see where you're going while you're drawing the line. Oh, don't forget about the pen pressure. Don't forget, you see, there's like 3 things constantly being thought of while applying, right? Thinking, very difficult, right? Applying, very difficult. Thinking while applying, literally the crux of the effort and the problem itself, right? So that's just one thing, by the way, line, right? And now we have perspective. Okay, so not only did I draw this line, now I have to draw a line while keeping in mind that this is a 1-point perspective, so it's parallel here, it's parallel here. Oh, I have to visualize this. I have to visualize where this is going. I'm gonna keep ghosting, but I have to visualize it. Okay, I've ghosted as much as I can. Pen only, now I have to commit, right? Not going. It's just, apart from this one, look how far this is, right? It's like, dude, this distance may seem like nothing to me now after years and years of effort, right? But in the beginning, drawing a clean line while visualizing a perspective, while ghosting it and keeping it in my mind and seeing the grid line, and then applying it while seeing the grid line, while making my marks clean, I think the point is made, right? This is the difficult part of the beginning of art, where you are just getting used to the multiple things you have to juggle, right? The multiple things you have to juggle. And there's only a few things in learning any skill. Obviously, this video is very particular to art, but in learning any skill and in learning in general, we can only really handle about 3 to 4 things in our mind at once. But the goal is to put in as much effort as possible to handle those things at once, or within, like in conjunction or anything, right? Like, or, let's say like, okay, I'm really focusing on line, but I'm trying to think about perspective, and I'm really focused on perspective, and I'm trying to think about line. The point is there's ratios, but the point is you're trying to think, right? And apply. So it's very, very difficult, which is why the effort is the reward. The effort is all that matters. right? Again, like, I don't want to, I'm going to keep beating this dead horse over and over because repetition helps, in my opinion and experience. Like, repeating these things will hopefully really hammer it to you that the only thing you can control is the effort and the amount of things you're thinking of while applying, and to acknowledge that this is very difficult and there's value and merit in doing these difficult things in and of itself, completely separate from the outcome. Right? And by the way, what I'm saying now is not the mindset I had when I was doing this, which is why I'm imploring you, I'm encouraging you to practice this mindset, which is a skill. A mindset is a skill. This is like, this was so shit. I don't know what else to say. It was just so bad. It was so fucking difficult. Another thing Drawbox does horribly, in my opinion, is they do not emphasize repetition enough. Like, yeah, they say repetition is important, but he's like, it doesn't matter if you're asked, just move on. I'm like, no. In my opinion, it does matter if you're asked, because how am I going to go from here where I barely understand how to fucking put a box in perspective connecting to a line? None of these are correct at all. You can tell I don't understand it at all. How am I gonna go from here to here and just be like, okay, that's the thing. Like, he sets people up to hate themselves, right? Drawbox is literally set up for people to fucking hate themselves because he doesn't explicitly state that you need to do a lot of repetitions. And I think every art platform suffers from this, where they never explicitly state you need to do more repetitions. Now, I'm gonna very explicitly state how many more. 50 more, 100 more, right? Until you feel as if it's not a glaring weakness for you anymore, right? Look at this. I number my reps now. I just started doing this recently, but and it doesn't change the fact that I always did a lot of reps, right? So look at that. There's, what is it, 15 reps here, 14 reps here. Now we're at 28 here. I'm gonna do 10 more pages of this. That'll be like 200. And then, only then will I be like, I think I'm starting to understand how to design shapes that have a function, a good silhouette, and seem interesting, right? And even those terms are super fucking vague. What the fuck is function? What the fuck is silhouette? Like, none of these make sense until you put the repetitions in. You can understand things conceptually, but it literally means jack shit until you've put in the effort and built the evidence of proof that you understand them in an application sense, right? In practice. It's called practice in a practice sense. Yeah, as anybody can hear, like, I care a lot about this because, look at, like, again, dude, look at these ellipses. Look at them. Just this is most likely where all you beginners are at, right? And this is exactly where I was at. Oh, beautiful. Now you can see. Look at my boxes. You probably saw them before, but look at these boxes. Does this look like a box to you? Let's go back to this, right? This is like 1 month in, not even 2 weeks in. This was literally today, right before I did this recording. This and this. This was like 2 days ago, right? This was like 3 days ago, right? With a much more difficult pen. Let's not forget, right? The fucking thinnest goddamn brush pen in the world, which I specifically chose this because can't even speak. I specifically chose this because it was much harder in terms of pen pressure control and sensitivity and fine motor skills. So I wanted to challenge myself even further, right? So you always want to challenge yourself. That's the main thing. And how do we challenge ourselves? By putting an effort on the spatial reasoning, on the line, on the form, and to really push ourselves, right? But it's like, how do you know what is good line, bad line? Well, that's where your own passion and research comes into play. My standard is Peter Han. My standard is Kim Jung-gi. My standard is Eliza Ivanova. My standard is Sori Kim. My standard is fucking Jae Kwang Park, right? Who else? There's a million people, bro. My standard is Rembert Montelt. My standard is Evan Amundsen. My standard is Jonas Minnebo. Like, you see what I mean? My standard is, in my opinion, who I look up to, right? The people I look up to. So when your standard becomes them, but your expectation is not them. That's the key difference. They are your standard by a means of evaluation. Oh, I guess, like, yeah, there's lines on the back, whatever. But yeah, they're your standards by means of evaluation. Does my line have that? No? Okay, what is it missing, right? It's missing consistency. It's missing intent. It's missing specific types of pen pressure. It's way too wobbly, right? It is not confident, because I went over it multiple times. There you go. Your standard sets your understanding and where to focus in terms of getting better, right? But again, you can see, like, just commit. Look at that. Look what I tell myself, because it was pure fear. Even when I'm drawing these, do these look like good boxes to you? No, they don't. But these are what your boxes look like. Let me just give you context again. This is what your box looks like, and with enough effort and consistency, this is what your shapes can look like. Like, I don't know how else to say this, and I'm just gonna keep saying it because, bro, I just want beginners to understand that it's just about effort. It's literally just about effort and just focusing on the right things, okay? And again, I only did this, but as you can see from my imagination drawings and my reference drawings, right? Like, my understanding of form is what informed, no pun intended, is what informed my ability to draw from imagination. Because the more I understand shapes and the more I can manipulate shapes, the easier it is to look around the world or to recall my own memories of what I understand and to be like, oh yeah, it's like that type of shape. It's manipulated in this way. It's bent in this way, right? It becomes easier to analyze difficult shapes when your ability to produce and create difficult shapes from imagination in a sequential manner gets better and consistently better over time. Like that is the biggest return on investment you can have. But again, just reps after reps. Do you see these boxes getting better? Does this look like it's getting better to you? No, right? But I didn't stop because again, just commit, just keep going. You're a fucking baby, all right? Tell me any baby by 1 year old, or sorry, any baby by like 3 weeks is exponentially better at anything it does, right? What about a baby? What about a toddler that's like 3 years? Okay, it can kind of walk now, kind of wobbles around. I'm 3 years into art. I'm a fucking art baby. I'm a toddler. There's so much I don't know, so much I don't understand. And by the end of my life, my YouTube channel will record 80 years of art or 70 years of art progress. So hopefully I'll live till 100. Woohoo. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's like my thing, I guess, or this. I don't fucking know. Anyways, right? It's gonna record all of that. And I'll still have a million things I'll never know, right? What is it? I'm gonna paraphrase this very, 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 very much so, but Hokusai, right? I believe the Japanese painter basically said something along the lines of by 50, my lines will take form, right? They'll start to make sense. By 60, they'll have life the life will be breathed into them, right? By 80, I'll just begin to understand the world around me. By 90, my lines will dance and sing. Like he basically kept going and saying, oh, yeah, oh, I forgot I did that. Yeah, I was just like some gay shit. But is that anti-PC? I hope so. I hope this specific occurrence right here makes people just immediately believe that I had nothing of value to say, because that's how it works, right? But either way, yeah, I was obviously very pissed off, right? I was very, because again, dude, like I don't understand convergence. Nothing's making sense to me, but I keep trying. And what am I doing by trying? I'm just to the fucking like moon, to the best of my ability. I'm just trying to visualize and trying to see this line. This line is so difficult to see. This line, dude, like it's so hard to see. How the fuck are you supposed to see lines on a page, right? It's all about visualization and mental effort. All about visualization and mental effort. It's literally all we can do, right? Amongst like the line quality, blah, blah, blah. Like so many things. We can only do a few things at once, right? So yeah, like again, just kept going. I'll speed a little bit through, right? I feel as if you guys get the point, right? But you can see my lines are getting slightly better, right? Like, there is progress. Of course there's progress, right? But now like the biggest problem is convergence, right? Oh, I was listening to a lot of Andrew Huberman. I really, his videos on skill learning, and which is what I parrot and say all the time because it's literally changed my life. The only 2 videos of his I actually gave a shit about at the end of it was how to learn skills faster, right? And then how to like growth mindset. Those were the only 2 ones. See, what does it say? Stop using index finger at the end of the movement. Proprioception. Proprioception is awareness of yourself, right? Awareness of your body in the space that it resides in. So proprioception in this sense, I meant like literally be aware of your fingers and what it's doing while you're doing it, right? Like, and again, dude, it's so hard to do pressure sensitivity. This page, everything you're seeing is evidence of just my constant efforts in just trying to have good motor skills and to see something to see grid lines at the same time. And again, like Drawbox, it was decent and all, but Artwad is really when my skill exponentially improved. But even then, it was just a huge amount of effort. What I'm trying to prove with this video, if anybody's still here, is that you are capable of this. Like you are capable of this, right? If I can do it, you can do it. I am completely average to below average in all aspects. As you can see, I'm not talented enough, I'm not meant to, blah, 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 to be good at spatial reasoning. Right? It's not in my genes. I just don't have the skill. I don't have the talent to be good at spatial reasoning, right? I just don't have the talent, because if I did it once and I couldn't do it, I can't do it again. So clearly fucking not. I hope that makes a point again, right? I'm just going to keep hammering in the same points over and over, but really it's just, you can do it. You just, please trust in yourself. Please trust in the fact that constant effort is all that matters. Constant effort and enjoying that effort and making mistakes and analyzing and just the loop of just making an effort. And when I say make mistakes and enjoy them, I want to clarify. What I mean is you do your absolute best not to make that mistake, but you inevitably will, because you do not have the skill to not make that mistake, right? And when that happens, that is when you force feelings of positivity. You know, Huberman says you attach dopamine to it, but it's like however you do. And yes, this actually works. You can literally gaslight yourself into enjoying learning until you do enjoy learning. That's literally what mindset shifts are, is you're just training yourself to think and react in a specific way to things. Think about meditation. Why are they calmer? Because they've trained their breathing, right? Think about any sport. Why can they move in that way? Because everything is a trainable skill. Everything is a trainable skill. You know, not except height, right? You can't, unless you get height surgery. That's next on my fucking list, I guess. But you know, all else equal, you know, you have hands, feet, you're fortunate enough to move and to be able to think. Everything is a skill, right? But yeah, like, I'm not meant to spatially reason, right? At this point, this is like, what, 3 months in? At this point, most people, maybe, most likely yourself, right? Maybe this is where you stopped. But this is 3 months in. 60 fucking, what is it, 5 reps in, right? Maybe not 3 months, maybe 2 months, whatever. The point is, I'm months in at this point, right? I'm a couple months in. And then this is, yeah, see page after page after page. I'm not meant to spatially reason. I was not meant to have good motor skills. Again, the only thing I ever had when it came to drawing was patience. That's it, because I cared. But then again, once I did it, I didn't do it for years at a time. So there's the fucking talent just gone to the wind, right? More convergence. You see, like, it's just not, I'm just analyzing, trying to write down what I can understand, right? And that's why, when I said, like, hold your standard really high, hold your standard to the people that you admire in art. I'm specifically going to be talking about line, form, and spatial reasoning, because I genuinely believe, and I hope it makes it clear again, that I look at, like, I don't know how to draw a truck. I don't know how to draw, what the fuck is that supposed to be, a coconut? This was during my live stream. You can check it out, whatever. Right, this is my first live drawing. I drew my hand. This is my hand. This is my desk, my drawing desk, right? But, like, and it's all messy. Like, do I understand composition? No. Do I understand readability? No. Do I understand literally values? No. Do I understand fucking anything apart from line, form, and perspective? No. And yet this looks believable. This looks relatively interesting, relatively compelling. Do I know how to draw a truck? No, but I draw it because I live far away from my friends, so it's like an hour drive back and forth, right? So 2 hour total. Like, on those drives, what did I do for literally a few days during those drives? I just looked at the trucks around me and I tried analyzing the shape. Boom, truck-like shape, right? So if you've ever believed that you weren't meant to do it, it's not that you weren't meant to do it, you simply haven't put in enough work. And you can put in enough work, right? So I want this video to be a very honest breakdown, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's already been 40 minutes. It's gonna be a long ass video. I hope my phone doesn't die. I hope the battery doesn't die. I hope the storage doesn't fill up. Let's keep going. Let's go a bit faster, right? This is J-Ram, actually, because he's brown and I'm brown. I'm not gonna fucking bastardize his name. J-Ram is just like a YouTuber. He actually fucking revitalized his YouTube channel, but he kind of uses like not clickbait titles. He plays a YouTube game. This one thing will save you. Oh, my life changed when I did this. But if it works for him, it works for him. He's very skilled. But he had like a worksheet to draw the head. So and this is a beginner problem. I immediately jumped ahead and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, right? Because I get perspective now. No, I don't. I didn't, and I 100% did not learn anything from these. Right, but I did this for like a few weeks, right? So that's the thing, you have to stick to the one thing. The main lesson I can give you is you stick to the one thing till you actually get good at it. Okay, I'm gonna cover that name. That's my friend. Yeah, I drew him sucking some dick. Well, he is gay, so he found it funny. And then he started sucking some dick. So, you know, the prophecy was held true. This is double-sided? No, it's not. Okay. I love how I'm just like doxing him right now, but whatever. But yeah, see, I didn't learn anything from here. Again, once I switched to pencil, lines were unconfident. Do I understand perspective? No. Do I understand the center line? No. Do I understand anything? No. So this is a lesson to beginners, right? Stop going back and forth. Stick to one thing until you actually understand it. And what I'm trying to show is it takes a lot of work to just even start to understand something. It takes a shit ton of work to be mediocre. Like, it literally takes a shit ton of work to be mediocre, right? This is part of my progress and all that shit, but like that, from what I showed there, I hope you take away that was not the right thing to do, right? And it's okay. This video will not resonate with everybody. There will be many people who are like, oh, I don't want to grind. Cool, this video isn't for you, okay? Because for me, it's not the word grind. It's effort, failures, and enjoying that. And just doing that as much as possible. Not the word grind has been bastardized, right? But a grind is not I do 5 repetitions. A grind is I do 100 repetitions and I do my best to only care about the effort I put towards them, right? But yeah, more boxes, page 19. Have you seen any progress? Because I fucking barely have. Right? That's the point. It's progress is so incremental, right? The only progress that's been happening right now, and I say only, not in like a derogatory way, but like only in the sense that, simply put, the only progress that had been happening and that could happen is just slightly better understanding of convergence and divergences when it came to boxes and vanishing points. But clearly that went to shit here. You see why? Sad face, right? Slightly better, slightly cleaner lines over time, right? Just slightly better, slightly better. But again, drawbox was horrible for actually making me better. Because again, the boxes are too big. For a beginner, it's too hard. It's just too hard to fucking zoom out to this extent and then to see convergences. It's too fucking hard, right? Like here, I can do that now. Here, like they're relatively the same size, maybe a bit larger, maybe a bit smaller, right? But here now I can do it. But that's because I can see a lot more. Like I have trained myself to literally see, bless me, to see the perspective box and to see the grid and to put the ellipses in there and to put the manipulated shapes and to calculate the angles, and every single thing I mentioned there are separate skills. Very difficult, very exponentially difficult, very cognitively demanding skills. It's thinking, it's effort, and it's fucking hard, but there's value in doing hard work. And there you have value because you're trying, all right? But please do not be mistaken. The value comes from what you try, you know? It doesn't just come from trying, because anybody can be like, I put a line, I tried. Sorry, that was probably a bit hard to understand. I put a line, I tried. Whatever. But anybody can do that. But to do it with an intent towards a specific purpose or goal and to just consistently do it, that is the value, right? And that's why I really want you to believe in yourself. I really, really do, right? I honestly think everybody's probably clicked off by now. Only a few people are watching / listening, but to you who just is trying to understand, like, how much effort do I have to put in to become even halfway decent? This is for you, right? Like, this is the effort you put in. And this isn't even the best effort I could have put in. Are my boxes even getting better? No, because I keep drawing them too big. Again, Ishad Kareem, why? Why did you fuck that up, right? And I know there will be a lot of drawbacks. Not a lot. I don't know if this video is ever gonna get big, right? Maybe when I'm way down the line, when my channel actually blows up. But there will be defenders, there will be supporters, there will be people in between. That's fine. This is just my opinion, right? I have to preface that with, it's my opinion, because everybody wants to have an opinion on everybody else's opinion. But my opinion holds more weight when I have more experience, right? So if you don't have as much experience as me, your opinion is in the grand scheme of things much less important than the one who's actually done it, right? Because we can all theorize all we want. I tried doing more heads, again, completely fucking useless. But we can all theorize all we want. I can theorize all I want about playing basketball and being like, yes, his foot was a bit off center, blah blah blah. His shift in weight and gravity wasn't right. But do I play basketball? No. Do I know how hard it is to actually achieve what that man did and of what I analyzed of, oh, it wasn't that good? No. So why the fuck am I talking? Right? I switched to pen, and now at least like I'm trying to do it with more confidence, because I realized pencil was just, as you saw, just scritching, right? Zero confidence. But I do believe experience is king, right? Experience and effort. And that just comes through just literally just consistently trying. But yeah, bruh, why? See, look at this. I'm so sad. I'm just so sad, right? So it's what it is. That's what it is, right? Like, again, where is the progress? Where is the progress, right? But again, during this entire time, sheer fear, bars, but I'm not a rapper. But yeah, it's just anxiety, fear, discomfort, right? I hadn't yet internalized the mindset, which I'm consistently promoting to you, which is effort. That's all that matters. I was too outcome focused, right? Too outcome focused. Even though I was doing everything that I'm saying right now, which is I was making a lot of effort in, purely because I was too outcome focused, I still struggled a lot with drawing. And by the way, even now, 90% of the time when I draw, or like 80%, I don't feel like drawing. Today I did this before I started recording this video, right? I didn't feel like drawing. I didn't want to do this. But hey, I created something and I tried. Did I even put that much effort in? No, I think I could put a lot more effort in. But I tried. That's all that matters. I come out of it being like I tried, right? But again, it's about trying on the right things, right? But by the way, I'm not stating that you must only do fundamentals, because these 2 years was just purely fundamentals. I did it because I'm like, 1 + 1 = 2, right? Fundamentals are the most efficient way to practice and get you the biggest return on investment. Okay, I will go through this. This is my journey. I will go through this effort, right? If you went through this effort, but over the course of 3, 4, 5 years, that's fine. But the point is the effort does not change. What you focus on does not change. But I would encourage you to do it sooner rather than later, and train yourself to do difficult things like this sooner rather than later, because your art will stagnate. Think about any time your art got better. You most likely did it through consistent periods of genuinely trying, right? So why should it be any different here? I'll tell you why. Because beginners, we are afraid of beginners in anything. And that's why you'll notice like the most vocal group in any sort of skill learning community, whether it's Reddit, whether it's YouTube, are always beginners. Why? Because they're just fucking, they're all regurgitating the same shit. It's so hard. Is it really like that? The amount of fucking times you basically see the same version of, do the fundamentals really work from beginners? You're asking, do the fundamentals really work? You're asking if the fundamentals are really that important. Okay, yeah, more notes. The answer is yes. Again, I'm very passionate about this because, as you can see, I went through all this friction. I went through the discomfort. I went through the pain. I don't like using the word pain, sorry. I went through the extraneous amounts of effort, and the answer is yes. They do work, but you will work, right? The work works on you more than you work on it. Hashtag Alex Hormozy, right? I like the mindset he promotes in that sense. It's all about just trying. See, notes. Again, I'm still talking about the same shit. Do it with confidence or don't do it at all, right? Lean towards intuition seems to work well with spatial reasoning. That I disagree with. Because when you do it off intuition, you're not thinking. When you're not thinking, you're not trying. When you're not trying, you're not learning. So I disagree with that, to be very clear. I think intuition obviously has to play a part when you are more advanced. By the way, this level of skill, if you can't do this, then I hope that you listen to what I say. Because if you can't do this, then you're worse than me, right? At spatial reasoning. There's a lot of things you can probably do that I can't do, but we're specifically talking about line, form, and spatial reasoning. If you cannot do this from imagination, then there's most likely merit to what I have to say regarding my journey, right? And you can achieve this. I really want to promote. I'm not here to shit talk anyone, but I am a shit talker, so it's just what it is. But you can achieve this, is what I'm trying to say. You literally can. But yeah, and none of this was done through intuition. Obviously, when things, like a lot of the angles and shit that I did was, you can say like, there'll always be some intuition, because I can't think of everything, right? I can't keep this entire thing in my mind. But you know what? I try to, and that's all that matters. My goal is literally to see this in my mind, and to see this in my mind, right? That is so fucking difficult. But anyways, enough crying. Let's just keep going. Let's speed past this a little bit. Yes, more repetitions. I think I've made my point, but you know, this entire period was just full of fear, anxiety. Do I understand what I'm doing? No, look at that. It's so fucking shit, right? And I'm not saying this in a mean way, by the way. I'm very abrasive, I guess, when I speak, you know, in the manner in which I conduct myself. But that's just how I talk, right? Like, even in my videos, you'll notice, by the way, I had 300 videos at the moment of this recording, close to 300 of my practice. Every video is an hour long. What does that tell you? There's 300 hours of practice on my channel, and there will be 300,000 there won't be 300,000. That's literally impossible for me. But there will most likely be at least 30,000 hours of practice on my channel before I die, right? So, just gotta keep going. But yeah, I don't think any of this is garbage. I say objectively it's shit, but I don't feel bad because I've learned not to attach feelings towards my art. The only feeling I ever put towards is the effort. Wow, what a fucking surprise. I said that again, right? But yeah, I really hope for the beginners who want to care, who do care, who want to care more, who have tried to care, but just give a shit. I really hope this is, I hope this inspires, because if you look at my current work, if you look at my current videos, and if you look at what I'm doing here, like, I really hope that puts into perspective that, okay, he just kept trying. He just kept trying, and he kept trying on the right things. Because there are right things. There are right things. Okay, art is not a fucking wishy-washy feel good, like, oh yeah, you just gotta fucking like smear your dick on the page and suddenly you'll have Picasso's level of ability, right? That is not what art is. That is not what any skill is. There are foundations to be built, and we have two options. Dislike the fact that you have to learn the foundation of something and just bitch and moan throughout your entire thing and just have a poor mindset around it. Or the other option is train yourself to enjoy the effort you put towards learning this thing and to literally just enjoy learning. Because when people say, I don't want to learn the fundamentals, you don't even have to stop. You don't have to end at the fundamentals. What you're saying is, I don't want to learn. And then you change the fundamentals and you put difficult things. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. People always, fucking beginners. It's always the beginners who say this shit, right? And even some advanced artists say this, intermediate advanced artists, and I don't like that they say this, but the fundamentals are not boring. You are boring, okay? Because the fundamentals are difficult. If it was boring, it would be easy, right? Right now, I'm at a level where this is boring. And even then, you can see my line's pretty shit, whatever. But this is boring. Making a line, right? I guess I'm bastardizing this page. It's gonna be a famous page one day. But that is boring. Why? Because I can do it relatively easily. But if I were to suddenly and I keep using this example, if I were to suddenly do this, that's not boring. That's extremely difficult. Saying something is boring when it's difficult is a complete cop-out. And yes, it's a cop-out. I'm addressing you, whoever you are. Should have stopped here. Yeah, more notes, right? It's the fundamentals are not boring. You are boring. The fundamentals are difficult. Therefore, they're stimulating, right? Therefore, they're engaging, and you have not put in enough effort to engage yourself, right? Focus. So what am I even trying to say? It all comes back down to the effort you put in, the focus you put in, and the attempt the myriad of attempts you make to not make a mistake, but you inevitably do. You associate positive feelings with those mistakes. You learn from those mistakes. Hey, here's my standard of the people I look up to. How does their XYZ look? How does my XYZ look when I did it like just now, this 1 repetition, 2 repetitions? Okay, there's like 2 to 3 things max I can see that need work. Let me do 50 more and just really focus on those 2 to 3 things, right? But yeah, let's just keep going. Yeah, see, we're on like rep fucking 2 in the 200s now. By the way, none of this improved my art. not in the sense that ArtWad did, right? But it did. What this did is made me a lot more comfortable with making marks on a page. You can see the lines are a lot more confident, right? Even the boxes are getting slightly better, right? So all of this effort, even though I look back and say it was garbage in the sense that like this didn't really improve me, it did. Obviously it did. Of course, it made me more comfortable with just making marks on a page and just drawing, right? Why would that not improve me? So yeah, just gonna keep going. Let me get through this, right? Feel free to speed up. Oh yeah, this is the ribbons exercise. Again, bro, like why are you jumping from something as difficult as boxes to suddenly we're doing ribbons and we're trying to understand a manipulated plane? Like it doesn't make sense, and the teaching is not good enough, in my opinion. Like there's too many steps that are completely being jumped, right? There's just, like, look at this. After all those boxes, I don't understand contours. Of course I don't, because I've never done anything organic in my life, and there's no clear explanation of it. ArtWad is the fucking king when it comes to explaining this. You will see how much better I got, right? But it's just, there's so much about art that I want to talk about, but I guess this is my video to talk about it. I tried drawing something from imagination, tried practicing ellipses, right? This is like another thing that this is draw boxes, like a little texture exercise. I took notes, I didn't understand shit, and then I gave up. Why? Because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I feel as if I don't understand enough things. I literally made like this in Figma, because I'm a designer. But yeah, I made this in, damn, how long has it been? Oh, it's been 51 minutes. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video. But let me, hopefully my fucking camera doesn't die, or my audio doesn't die, whatever. Like, I hope I don't run out of storage. I probably should have put everything away, but 20 gigs is enough for 2 hours, right? But yeah, I tried doing more faces, right? You'll notice I did like, learn slowly observing Dilbert. Like, these are like all the cues I had to keep telling myself because I was so in my head, right? As a beginner, we're just like, there's so much to learn. Like, you just have to keep reminding yourself that, hey, just take your time. Just take your time. Try taking notes, blah, 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 all that stuff. Just more warm-up. I started implementing warm-ups. Right? Does this look like a good box too? Because it doesn't to me. Again, our Drawbox trained me to draw too big. There was no merit in that point. Like I barely understand the fundamentals. You're trying to make me see something that's beyond my scope. If you're above average, sure, maybe this would have worked for you. But I'm below average by all means. And this is why I keep talking about sheer effort. Because if you're a normal person like me, effort is the only thing we can control. So it's effort, 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 and just constantly this is their texture exercise. Obviously, I didn't understand shit. Lines don't make sense. Okay, March 24th, 2023. I didn't have money to do their subscription at this point, but April 1st is when I started. So you see right there, construction practice boxes, pre-ArtWad. This is when I found Antonio's video on Proco's channel. Search up 6 steps to draw anything, something like that in Proco, right? And the concepts he explained there and how you progressively go with the 6 steps to drawing basics forms to manipulating forms. That's the big thing everybody misses, right? Is people draw simple forms and they're like, all right, I'm gonna draw complex shit. No, manipulating forms, right? As you can see, these are manipulated forms, right? Diagonal angles, right? A sphere embedded into a multiple rounded diagonal fucking form, right? Little cutouts, like, dude, and this took me another year of just understanding, by the way. This is the first 2 years. The third year, which is on my channel now, is just constantly trying this, right? Don't look at the result. Check out my channel, watch every video, look at the process. Right, but yeah, pre-ArtWad. So I'm trying like all the little, manipulating, bending, twisting, let me try that. Do I understand it? No, not really, but That's what it is. Unsure if accurate. Twisted folds gravitate towards a point of tension, but what else is missing? This is just jargon. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about because I'm a complete beginner, as you can see, trying to draw spherical shapes and trying to bend them. But the attempt is still important. Still very important. Oh, this is like a drawing from imagination I did. So look at this. March 25th. I started to remember, right? What was it? December, January, February, March. Okay, so it's been 4 months. So no, wait, what the fuck? Am I counting that right? November, December, January, February, March. December, January, February, March. Oh, okay. I guess I only did draw box for 4 months, and then I did art wad the 5th month and onward. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense, like, to me. Yeah, drawing from imagination. Right. Nothing in the back. Okay, cool. More boxes, more ellipses inside boxes. No understanding. Right. More practice of manipulating contours. Right. Didn't understand it. More pen practice. I don't know why I did those in pencil. Probably because I wasn't feeling confident. Right. But anyways. Yeah, box manipulation. I kind of understood this, kind of, but again, like I did not have art wad yet, right? I hadn't gone through the videos, I hadn't done the lessons, so obviously it was a bit more difficult, right? Just again, spam, repetition, ellipses, right? Just lines, just constantly building. Oh yeah, this is where I start going schizophrenic. This is where I actually start just fucking drawing, I think, on both sides, just spamming the shit out of everything. Right, so again, practice lines, practice ellipses, keep going. I'm fucking shitting myself, I'm scared, but I'll just keep going, right? Okay, there you go. Okay, pre-art wad, box rotation and manipulation. See, I tried here. That's the thing, I tried, right? But I didn't understand that this contour has to be this contour, right? Like, it's, oh, that has to be part of it. But I didn't understand. Clearly, before art wad, I still didn't understand shit. Even my boxes were pretty mediocre. And now we're at art wad. Oh, now I'm getting chilled. Oh, now we're on to the good shit. Let me have a sip of my even colder tea now. Jesus Christ. Okay. Nice, we're at an hour. Is the page off center? Fuck me, the page is off center, isn't it? That's my laptop, by the way. Guess don't mind the laptop. Oh, I guess I might as well close the laptop. Look at that, we're changing the meta or the lore of the video. Cool, okay. So this was their 1-point perspective practice, right? Like this. As you can see, my lines are a lot cleaner now, definitely a lot cleaner, right? And I felt really proud of this, I'm not gonna lie. But you're about to see why I was still missing so much. Because, and this is what they required of you, by the way. Back then, art wad actually focused on repetitions. But, you know, beginners are pussies and they're like, the repetitions, is that really, I don't know, I'm so scared. So they actually changed with their roadmap. They like, their grind nodes are 10 repetitions now. They used to ask on their beginner basics course before the beginner roadmap, right? Their basics course is the content that it's derived from. They'd be like 20 repetitions. Because Antonio understood, it's all about the repetitions and just trying your fucking hardest. Which is why most of the videos Art Wad's been putting out currently, at the time of this recording, 2025, in the past year, it's been all about trying to fucking teach people mindset, right? What is this, more 1-point perspective? What did I say here? Not counting as a box, we'll do an extra one. Yeah, see, because look at that. Still, like, this is the part where I really started to understand, like, oh shit, I have to visualize. Like, I really have to start seeing the grid. This was the turning point where Art Wad made me realize, okay. And again, this is actually where I started getting obsessed with Kim Jong-il, or started learning about him, which is funny. It's like, how do you go through without learning about Kim Jong-il? This is without the horizon line, right? But yeah, it's just, like, I just really started realizing, like, if I can excel, not master, by the way, mastery takes a lifetime, but if I can become excellent in seeing the grid, that is the biggest ROI, like the grid, perspective. This really reinforced form and perspective and seeing it, seeing the grid, seeing this line, like, dude, that's so much mental work, by the way. Like, I'm not discounting that. It's so much cognitive effort, and that's what art is, okay? Art, especially in my opinion, in my obviously very biased opinion, is fucking immense amounts of cognitive effort, right? So take your time and think, genuinely think, and that discomfort you feel in thinking is the fucking learning, right? If you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're not learning. There's zero learning happening. That's purely intuition, and yeah, that's nice and all, but are you trying to learn, or are you just trying to be in your comfort zone? Because if you're trying to be in your comfort zone, I don't know what the fuck the point of the last 100 pages I showed you was. Like, then you might as well just click off, right? Because this isn't for you. Oh yeah, my cylinders were ass for so long. For so long, my cylinders were ass, right? And even now, they're not perfect. Even now, right? 3-year mark, look at that, right? I struggle. Actually, this is pretty decent, but overall, you can see this should be a lot wider compared to that, right? I actually gave up here. I didn't know what I was visualizing or what I wanted the function of this to be, so I gave up there. But overall, they're getting a lot better. You can tell they're decent right here. This is pretty decent. That's pretty okay. This is pretty decent. It's all right. But again, because I keep training my mind and my eye to see more, right? You always want to be able to see more than you can do. A lot of people think that the Goldilocks zone is like, oh, you can do as well as you see. No. You want to always be able to see more than you can do, because if you don't know what can get better, then you're not going to get better. Then you're not going to focus your efforts. But yeah, cylinders, more art wad, just constant cylinders, right? That was cylinders freeform. This is cylinder following a imaginary horizon line, one vanishing point, right? You can see, by the way, if your cylinders look like this, right? Hopefully this resonates with you. Look at that. Where's the fucking minor? Like, dude, come on, right? Like, it's just ass for months on end. I'm just ass, but I'm trying so hard. That's all that matters. And again, that's all that matters to you. Like, this is just, I know, a repetitive video, but this video means a lot to me. What I'm doing right now, hopefully it doesn't cut out. Then maybe I'll have to continue onwards after my phone charges or I move my videos around. But what I'm, okay, it's almost been an hour. Actually, we're halfway through. That's not bad. I can speed it up too. But what I'm really trying to say is just, beginners, this is the work it takes. This is the effort we can put in. And you can put this effort in. If I can do it, you can do it, right? If I can do it, you can do it. And more than anything, why can't you do it? At this point, if anybody's still listening, this entire video has been me telling you that you can do it. And there's going to be a lot of you who are going to be coming up with a million reasons as to why you can't do it. Think about that. This random dickhead on the internet who's just been fucking showing his art progress and trying to show you that you can do this has been saying in multiple different ways that you can do this, and here's how. And you, if you have a poor mindset, you are likely thinking of reasons as to why you can't. Please let that be, like, please reflect on that. Someone is telling you you can do it, and you are convincing yourself that they're wrong. The fact that they're on my side is incorrect. I can't do it because of X, Y, Z reason. Why. If you can fucking hold a pen, you can do this. It just takes a lot of work, which we can train ourselves to enjoy, right? Oh, this is the genuine turning point with ArtWad. They're box and cylinder clusters, right? That was one of their exercises in their beginner basics course, which they don't have in the roadmap anymore, I don't believe, to the extent that it is here. But this is what made me realize, okay, going from drawing individual boxes to drawing boxes stacked next to each other within the same perspective, drawing multiple boxes in the same perspective, stacked, like just being next to each other, just interacting in somewhere, just being in the same space, is a huge cognitive leap. It's a huge leap in skill. It's a huge leap in understanding. Genuinely, look at this, right? Because like now you have multiple boxes that have to follow the same vanishing points. This is what reinforces, like, okay, now I have to see the grid. Like, I literally have to see the grid. I have to see the grid, right? So here I am telling you, seeing the grid is the biggest ROI you can have. Again, right? Look at this. Dude, I was so proud of this when I first did this, and then I submitted it for, because I was really proud of how straight my lines were, right? I submitted it for review or for feedback, and I thought they'd be like, oh yeah, like you're good to go, right? And the person who gave me feedback was like, this is great, your lines are confident, great start. And then they're like, you need your ellipses to be in the box. And they literally put like the fucking grid, the plane, right? They put the square plane in perspective, they put an ellipse inside of it, and then they pulled the minor axis, and like, this is what you need to work on. That completely reframed and reset my understanding. I'm like, oh, so that's the level I need to be at to be able to draw accurate ellipses and boxes. Because a lot of beginners, I saw this on the Broken Draw Discord too. One guy was like, there's no fucking way all these artists are seeing the grid lines and they're seeing all these things. And I responded, I'm like, that is exactly what they're seeing. That's literally what they've trained themselves to see. And you should find that to be beautiful. This was another exercise. You should find that to be beautiful. That means you can train yourself to literally see grid lines. You can train yourself to apply within those grid lines. You can train yourself to see perspective, right? Oh, you're about to see like a million cylinders that never got better, by the way. So again, like, it's excruciating, man. It's actually, I need to stop using that word. Sorry. It felt excruciating back then, but what I want to say, it's difficult. It was hard. It was difficult. Excruciating is not the right word. It was hard and difficult, and it took a lot of effort. Okay, I'm gonna really reduce the amount of ways I keep saying this is hard in the more negative ways, because it's not negative. Learning is a positive experience. It's a difficult experience. It's a very difficult experience, but it's not a negative experience. Okay. But yeah. See, okay, let's just go through this. You can see like my cylinders. Again, if your cylinders look like this, and you think that there's merit to achieving skill like this or achieving skill like this, let it be known, same person, just over a longer period of time and consistent effort, right? If there's anything you can fucking take away, please take away that. Please take away that. You can do this. You're not alone. Look at my journey. You're not, look, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? You're not fucking alone. You're not alone. Seriously, you're not alone. Like, and the reason I made this video is because, again, I will be a fucking great artist, right? I will be excellent. Okay, there'll still always be a million things I don't know, but my definition of excellence, the level that Kim Jong-gi, Peter Han, all these artists reached, I will reach my own level, my own version of that level. I 100% will. Unwavering confidence that I will, because as you can see, I will never stop. I will keep going. I will keep going, and I'll keep going, and I'll keep going, and I'll keep believing in the fact that as long as I work on the right things. Oh, also Dong Ho Kim, another great artist. I just want to mention that I will get better. Right? So you're not alone, okay? What you might be alone in is how little fucking practice you do. So here again, I really hope this is a wake-up call for you. Do you see any improvement? No, right? Very little. But do I stop? No. Okay? I don't stop fucking 500 reps in. I don't. Or 400 reps in, basically, almost. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show the back of this, right? That's why this video will be long. It's gonna be okay, back to the clusters, right? Trying to, again, show honest progress. Look at this. Look at this. If you're here, you can be here. And again, 5 years from now, I'll be like, if I was here, I can be here. And it'll be fucking 10 times more complicated, interesting, and my brain will be able to visualize these things, right? It's called the compound effect, you know? This is the value of disappointment right here. This is the value of disappointment. Constant effort, no immediate outcome, right? You must delay gratification. And that's why we must infinitely delay gratification, because the effort is all that matters, right? But yeah, this is a great way, because look, what do I have to see here? I have to see the box, and I have to see the grid lines. They have to converge. It's hard. It's super hard to zoom out and to immediately see another thing. It's also hard to, because you can see that I drew the boxes of the cylinders, because I literally could not do it. Like, it was too difficult to think about having a cylinder placed in the middle of this box. I can do it so easily now, obviously. But dude, back then, like, it's so fucking hard to draw this without completing the ellipse, because think about it, it's another skill to just draw an accurate halfway ellipse in perspective. That is a skill. Everything here is a skill, right? So yeah, you know, like that, what did I say? Minor axis was slightly off. My guy, that was a fucking incredibly off. You see, so like I had to keep upping my understanding, right? But if there's one thing I can suggest, these box and cylinder clusters, as you can see, are a fucking great way to just really, really, really work on your perspective skills and your ability to visualize, right? So yeah, Artwad. Their structure is fucking amazing. Just do a lot more repetitions than they require. If I can even convince one person that doing more repetitions is the answer, and that you have the ability to enjoy the effort you put towards those repetitions, if I can just convince one of you fuckers, right, you actual beginners, just like I was, then I've done my job. I would love for more people to resonate with this. But you know, most people want the whole wishy-washy, because again, this is not a feel-good art channel. This is not we're all fucking friends here. We're brothers. Please like and subscribe. And sisters, let's not forget them. But this is not a channel where I'm gonna put like fucking like little derpy music in the background. Actually, I do have background music. I'm just disproving myself with every sentence, apparently. But what I'm trying to say, this is not a channel where I'm gonna be coddling your feelings and telling you that, hey man, if you just try like every 3 weeks and like you just vibe it out, you'll make progress. No, you fucking won't. You will make ass for progress, okay? But I will say, as long as you keep trying as consistently as you can, and you train yourself to enjoy the effort, right? And you train yourself at the end of drawing, during drawing, and after drawing, that you put lots of effort in, that's all that matters. Just keep telling yourself. It doesn't matter if you believe it or you don't believe it, because as long as you keep telling yourself, your brain will rewire to believe it, right? And you keep making mistakes, and you keep forcing yourself to associate positive feelings with those mistakes, you are setting yourself up for a life of success in everything you learn. Everything, not just art. Art essentially changed my life because it taught me that I can learn. I'm sorry the education system failed you. I'm sorry that one teacher who said you weren't good enough or not talented. I'm sorry your peers who care too much about innate ability failed you, okay? It's all everybody else's fault, never your own. No personal accountability on this channel. But no, genuinely, I'm sorry that your circumstances have led you to believe that you are not capable. But I hope the constant pages that I show you, again, I just kept going, man. Will lead you to believe that you can do it. And you do have the ability to put an effort, because I was ass and I never stopped. And if you are ass, and no matter where you are, as long as you never stop, you will fucking succeed. The number one superpower you can have is to focus on the effort and never give up. You know, just believe on yourself. Hashtag Viggy inspires, right? Whatever, that type of shit. But yeah, yeah, more boxes, more cylinders. I'm getting a fucking headache from how inspirational I'm being. But okay, let's just keep going. Because there's still a fuck ton of pages. I'm not having this be a 2-hour video, right? Let's just keep going. Okay, more. I hope my point is being made clear. Just more. Just constant repetitions, right? Maybe there's something else I could talk about. No, let's just keep talking about what's at hand, right? Remember this attempt. Look at that. Remember this attempt. Why? Because this line and this line were actually relatively in the same similar grid. Actually, there's another thing I want to talk about. Jesus Christ, this is like actual fucking psychotic breakdown. But no, again, I'm just consistently practicing. There's a point where I switched to the brush pen and you'll see like my lines just took another giant hit because it's just a completely different level of motor skill application and pressure control, right? Why? Because I want to challenge myself. I'm like, if Kim Jong-il uses it, why? Some idiot on my channel, like videos back said, why are you using a pen? Why are you drawing so slow? Why are you using this pen, right? Leave that for the people who are good. Use it when you're good enough. What kind of fucking retarded mindset is that, all right? Use it when you're good enough. Okay, that applies, sure, in the sense that, hey, draw something way more complicated when you can actually allocate the cognitive resources to draw that complicated thing without having to worry about these basic foundations. That I can understand. It's like, okay, that's a valid argument. But to say, do not train yourself on a tool that is difficult, that's different, because there's not much to train on a tool. It's literally just, it's never going to be anything apart from motor skills and pressure control, right? Like, and then whatever nuances in that. So my mindset was, might as well start now, because now I can spend the next 40 years getting really good at brush pen, and more than anything, spend a lot of time just getting really fucking good at pressure control. That was the main reason I switched to this. Let me wiggle it in your face a little bit more. There you go. But yeah, and another thing, right? I kept doing my best to envision. You see, I'm not just drawing this out of my ass, by the way. What you must think about, to the best of your ability, is this grid. And this is the box, the tiny box I'm fitting it in, and I'm drawing the ellipse inside of that, and then I'm thinking about the minor axis. That is extremely difficult, but that is how you draw ellipses and cylinders. They are inside a plane in the grid. Look how difficult it is to zoom back out and then be like, okay, how do I center this? Where's the center line? Well, I know that if I go from this diagonal to this diagonal, that's the center line, but it's off because when I make the attempt, that's my attempt, right? Yeah, so again, this is literally what I have to envision and think about at all times, right? So yeah, just kept going. Cylinders became my huge focus because I realized, hey, if I can draw cylinders, I can draw boxes, because you have to, by drawing a cylinder, you have to think about the box and the plane, right? You have to, you literally have to. You can't draw a cylinder without thinking about the box and the plane. That means I was like, if I can visualize the planes and the grid, and I can visualize an ellipse in any point in space accurately within that grid, in any perspective, that means, hold up, bless me. That means I can draw boxes a lot easier. But look, what is this? It's not converging, but I'm trying, because it's extremely difficult to visualize a plane within an existing plane. These are all like meta skills, sub skills. Anything you find difficult within what you're, oh, sorry, I forgot to show the back. Yeah, see, here's exactly what I'm trying to visualize. This, right, this, that right there, this minor axis. That's wrong too, right? But that's what I'm trying to visualize. But anything in your art journey, especially when it comes to perspective, form, line, anything, any fundamental in which you're like, damn, here's another thing that's extremely difficult, immediately recognize that, okay, this is just another skill or a sub skill, a meta skill, a skill within the skill that I now must also focus on, right? So that's why we take it one step at a time. What does this say? No? I don't know. I was just sad, I guess. But yeah, like again, box stacking, dude, this shit was so hard. This shit was so fucking hard. Especially with the cylinders. Right? Especially with the cylinders. So when an artist says, oh, I did a lot of work with fundamentals, here it is. Here's the video as clearly as fucking possible showing you what they meant by work. You know, what they meant by it was difficult. What they meant by I was ass in the beginning too. What they meant by I just had to keep going and keep trying. This is what they meant. Okay? This is what they meant. This is what they meant. I don't know why, or I don't know how many times I have to say that, but I'm so passionate. Oh, I'm so full of passion. See, convergence off, actual length, convergence off, misaligned, right? We have to keep constantly noticing, right? Mistake, zoom out, gotta see the perspective, right? It's just constant failures and repetitions, right? That's literally all we can do. And effort. Okay, let's just blech but attempt. See? Blech but attempt, as in like, hey, I don't like this, right? I'm allowed to think I don't like this. Now I don't have any feelings towards my art because I've genuinely trained myself to be like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just about the effort that I put in. Did I really try? Yeah, okay. But could I have tried harder? Of course. Harder? I can't speak. Harder? Of course. But I'm trying. That's all that matters. I have to keep checking the camera to make sure that the recording is still going. My battery doesn't die. But anyways. Okay, cluster practice. Yeah, page 19. There's a couple pages where I ended up drawing on some NDA documents. So I'm not going to show the back of a few pages. Yeah, because they have like medical information or like my fucking when I used to work NDA. So I'm not going to show the back. But yeah, you see, like I just kept doing and kept doing and kept doing. And these ellipses still are pretty fucking mediocre. And they're still not aligned properly. How many pages have we done this for now? 19. We've done it for 19 pages. Double-sided, by the way. Tips to keep in mind for practice. This is what I always kept thinking about. Visualize the 3D space before making any mark. Focus on ghosting and line quality when mark making. Actively think about the convergence to the horizon line when applying the above tips. So that is, as a beginner when it comes to spatial reasoning, and I'm going to assume vast majority of people watching this do not have this level of spatial reasoning ability. I'm just going to assume that because I will have to, I guess, remove my humility and say objectively, hey, this is a pretty high level of spatial reasoning, right? I can say that with pretty objective, like this is a pretty high level of spatial reasoning. But I still consider myself to be an advanced beginner. Why? Because there's a million things I don't know, and the standard I hold to myself is astronomically higher than this. This is nothing. I'm still a baby. 3 years in, I'm a toddler. This is nothing. And that's amazing because I can just keep trying and keep trying to get better. All right. By the way, exponential growth, right? I thought doing something like this, was like 6-7 years down the line, by the way. Not 3 years in 1 week. Right? So anyways, if there's any fucking point in the video you should pause when it comes to someone who's trying to better their spatial reasoning, please. These tips is literally all, it's just this. It's just this. And just keep this in your mind as much as possible. Literally, like this is the main thing that I really want to put across. It's like, it's this. This is what you should always have in your mind when it comes to spatial reasoning, right? And mark making. But wait, fuck. Oh yeah, back of the page. Do you see any improvement? Because I fucking sure don't. Incremental. Well, I started doing these to like really reinforce the contour and the plane and the grid. So I started doing a lot of these. Right, again, it looks like the fucking drawings of a madman. But every single line, as much as possible, was done with intent. Right? None of these were wasted. Like very few of these lines were wasted. I kept thinking. Every single one of these. And by the way, like every page took like 2 hours. You know, with double-sidedness. Yeah, every page took 2 hours, I would say. Right? So it takes time. None of these were done fast. Right? None of these were done fast. But, let's see. Okay. Fuck, how much time do I have? It's been 1 hour and 16. Okay, let's speed run. Let me just keep repeating. Yes, more work. Right? Just kept going. Ellipses was my main thing because I have to keep envisioning the biggest ROI I think was honestly like really getting down, envisioning the plane and then putting an ellipse in the plane in any angle, right? And obviously, like these box and cylinder clusters in perspective, I think these are the biggest ROI you can have when it comes to just your understanding of form and spatial reasoning, right? Just 100%. I just kept going. But now, I hope you can see, like, page by page, there's very little difference. But now we're like basically, I think, a year and a half in, maybe probably like a bit over a year in. If you compare this to my beginning, my first 6 months, I hope you can see now, like, oh, there is progress. So it turns out when you just try and you keep trying and you keep trying to get better and you make mistakes that you get better because you made mistakes and you kept trying. You see, I had to hold that voice for a while. It was difficult. It sounded like I was kind of gargling dick at the end, but hey, Viggy Fammers do what Viggy Fammers do. I don't know if that made any sense. But yeah, see, line practice, right? Line practice, box, line, box, draw the boxes, draw the lines. Just keep fucking going. Keep going. And by the way, none of this mattered because I switched to the fucking brush pad. So none of this really mattered in terms of line quality. I had to retrain my lines all over again. But you know what I didn't have to retrain? Obviously the effort I was putting into actually understanding the space, right? So just more. This is page 28, right? I think it goes up to 130, by the way, right? Just kept going. So if at any point your skill looks like this, then know that your skill can also look like this. You are on the right path. You're not alone. I'll keep saying it, okay? And your skill can also look like this. If you're wondering how I got to this point, just go to my channel, go to the Road to Kim Jong-il videos, part 1. It's all playlisted, right? Or you can check sequentially from oldest onwards. You'll see exactly, like literally in order, what I practiced, how I thought about it, blah, 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 right? But See, okay, this level. See, again, I'm noticing like this is what I want. Like I want them to be accurate to this level. The lines, everything following it. Like this was pretty good. But even then, see, if you didn't notice that this line is slightly off than this line, right? Then your eye needs work. If you didn't notice that this line is the same as this, like it's converging properly, it's on the grid, but this one it's following the grid properly. The 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective, but this one is converging a bit too fast, then again, you have the ability to train your eye. The more you pay attention and the higher standard you hold yourself to and you keep trying to achieve and pay attention and to train your eye, the better you're going to be in terms of applicability over the long term. Can't speak. Applicability, something like that, right? Okay, yeah, just kept going. This is all I did, by the way. This was literally, again, 5 days a week for 1 hour. This was my art practice. On average, let's just say like 5 to 7, like I said before, right? But it's just lines, ellipses, and every time I draw an ellipse, I'm visualizing this plane. I'm literally trying to see this. Even here, I'm trying to see it, man. I'm trying to see it. But look at that. Look at this. 30 pages in, 20 pages of ellipse practice, cylinder practice later, and I'm still doing this, right? It's just completely off. It's just not even following the grid. It's not curved properly, right? Oh, this is actually when I found Kim Jong-il, I'm pretty sure, right? More line practice. Yeah, this is, at this point I started noticing, started getting videos of Kim Jong-il. Is this all in pen? I think this is in pencil. What the fuck am I doing is this pen, pencil? I think it's pen. It's just getting dry. Okay, yeah, 35, right, more ellipses. Let's go 36, more lines, more ellipses, following the plane, trying to visualize, just fucking pushing the brink of my brain. And I still do that, by the way. I haven't stopped pushing my brain. The reason why on my channel you'll see consistent progress is because I'm always encouraging everybody to A, draw along, B, focus on their fundamentals, and C, learn to just focus on the effort and just make lots of mistakes and just enjoy that, right? So yeah, again, I started doing warm-up drills. I think I reincorporated them here, right? This all has value. Every single one of these pages have value because the value was me trying, right? Oh yeah, this is like actual schizophrenia. This is so fucking bad in a good way, in a good way, of course. But let's see, more. I think the NDA page is coming up. Focus on perfectly replicating parallel lines. Keep convergences and box visualization or visualize. No, keep convergences and box visualized. Ghost at least 5 times before committing. So see, I'm just constantly reminding myself of the same things. At all points, just constantly reminding myself. Don't mind that. I'm just, again, checking if the video is recording. I think this new mic is actually shittier than my old one in terms of noise cancellation. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just more. So now, the whole point of this video is I never fucking want anyone to ever ask again, how much work did you put in? What did you do? How can I get this good? Here's your fucking answer. Here's your answer. The answer is, here's the work that you do, and here's how you can enjoy the work, and here's the work that you can do. Sorry, like you can do this. Like you literally can. You are so capable. If I'm capable and I'm a fucking loser and I can't do shit, and it took me learning an extremely difficult skill like art to actually start realizing that I can learn things, right? Because now I'm learning piano. It's been 2 years and I'm fucking playing a level 8 piece, or I'm practicing one, right? I just started learning coding as well and I'm getting better. Like the point is, art taught me, art being such a high barrier to entry in terms of proficiency, taught me that just repetition, understanding, making mistakes, and just focusing on the effort is the key to success in any endeavor, right? I mean, we have 2 choices. We can either believe what I just said, or we can constantly be in turmoil about not liking ourselves or not liking the effort or the output and just focusing on the outcome and all that stuff. But yeah, that NDA page is coming up soon. I wonder if somebody's gonna do some AI shit and try to like find out where I'm from or whatever. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Again, more practice, constantly trying to visualize, constantly. Right? I think this is definitely like a year and a bit in at this point, right? My ass is hurting from all this sitting. Let's see. Yep, just kept going. And by the way, like, I drew over all my shit, like, you know, the box, and then I would create box clusters, and I would just draw shit ton of ellipses over them and cylinders over them, because that was my biggest weakness, right? You target your weaknesses. My weaknesses as a beginner and your weaknesses as a beginner is lines, form, and perspective. And there'll be a lot of intermediates. Maybe not now, maybe in the future, there'll be intermediates and advanced who might feel called out by my videos. Not intentionally, but because maybe your lines just aren't as good as mine. Maybe your perspective is not as good as mine, right? I don't want you to feel called out. I want you to realize that anybody can achieve this level of skill. Literally anybody. Literally anybody. Okay? If you believe in talent, get that shit out of your head because it does not serve you. Please tell me one benefit believing in talent serves you apart from either demotivating you, making you feel as if people are just better than you and putting you down, right? Or just, yeah, it's like all talent, the word talent does is boost people who supposedly have a natural ability and then degrade people who supposedly don't have that ability. Again, as you can see from the sheer amount of effort that I put in, I was not meant to be good at spatial reasoning. I was not meant to be good at line. I was not meant to be good at form. You know, I did not have the talent for it. You see, like I was not meant for this. Look at this, fucking, we're at 50 pages in. This is my cylinder. This is the best cylinder I can do. 50 pages in and this is the best cylinder I can do. And now you know what I mean by 50 pages. Now you actually understand what I mean by that, right? So I was not meant to be good at art. I was not meant to be a good draftsman. Oh yeah, this is the NDA page, so let's just oh yeah, like I tried drawing something. I think this was like just some random figure stuff I saw on the internet. I think I didn't really feel like drawing that day, so I did this, right? But guys, again, like so much discomfort. Okay, 59, I'm not gonna show the back, right? Just assume it's the same. I was such a fucking degenerate, literally just drawing on my goddamn contract. 60, right? More of the same shit on the back. 61. Right. Kept trying to push myself, kept trying to understand, kept trying to visualize. Okay, cool. Yeah. See, just like, come on. Look at this fucking cylinder. This one, right? Look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like this. Do you see that? You cannot tell me that looks good. Okay, bro, it's been an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's speed up. Let's just speed up. But again, I'm trying to prove a point. I'm not going to edit this because I'm trying to prove a point that it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work. Look how much I drew. Look at this. The page is ripping here. That's how much I fucking went over the line, right? I don't encourage you to do that. But I'm trying to make a point in that really all we can control is effort. That's all we can control, right? That's all we can control. And you are capable of that effort. Because you would not think that this person in the beginning was capable of this effort, right? But the more you put effort in, the more you understand how much effort you can put in, right? Like it's just all about constantly understanding. You are creating the output is the ability that you. Oh, okay, I need to say this properly because A, I'm getting tired. B, I'm getting I guess riled up by myself. Okay, what I'm trying to say is all we can control is the effort, right? So the output, not outcome, but the output is the type of person who can put that type of effort. So that is who you are building, right? I did not build someone who can draw cool things. I have built someone who can put in enough effort to achieve this, right? But it's not about the achieving. It's just, I just have become someone to put in enough effort, period. I have become someone to put in enough effort and to try to this level. But what these turn into don't matter. What only matters is after it's turned into something, I'm like, what makes sense? Does this look like it has a function? Did this convey what I wanted to? What could use work? What the silhouette could be better? Okay, what the fuck does function and design even mean, right? Like all these things. But again, it's just about the effort. And you can do it. You can do it. You're not alone. Clearly, I hope this showcases you're not fucking alone, right? And I hope this contextualizes how much work you should put in, or you need to put in. If you care, by the way, this if you care. If you don't care, if you literally don't care, if you don't care as much as I do, if you do not care as much as someone who wants to get genuinely good, if you do not have that level of care, right, then this video is not going to help you that much because you're probably going to keep this on the background for a couple minutes. You're going to fuck off and you're like, oh, whatever, that guy's annoying, I don't care, right? But if you want to care, if you want to put effort in, if you want to be at a point where you're like, I just want to understand what effort I should put in, where should I put my effort, I'm someone who cares. If you're just anywhere on the spectrum of that you care, you want to care, and you want to put an effort, and you want to know where to care and where to put your effort in, then I hope this really fucking resonates and contextualizes and grounds what that caring looks like. This is what caring and trying looks like, okay? Yeah, that was pretty deep. I should put that on the shirt as well. This is fucking Viggy merchandise. Well, one day, I'll start with stickers, right? But we'll see. Oh, yeah, see? So there you go. 1 year later, or like 9 months later. So I wasn't even a year in. That's how much work I did in the first 10 months, right? Jet, August 19, 2023. Look at that. This is the first time I drew from reference in a very long time. Actually, I think this might have been the first time I drew from reference in like months at this point. And I looked at a jet, And this is what I was able to achieve. Right? After 9 months of this fucking like autistic, this is just sheer drawing boxes and cylinders and ellipses and lines and planes, right? After 9 months, this is what I could achieve. But another fucking 24 months later, this is what I could achieve, right? So it's called the compound effect, right? I'm still in the valley of disappointment here. 76. Oh, this is my schedule. Or my gym schedule, right? So I didn't really page that. I drew everywhere as I could, right? And again, each page is like an hour to 2 hours. 79, right? Dude, I really hope this video is still recording. Okay, good. 79 again. What the fuck? No, this is 79. I just completely tripped out. But yeah, again, don't forget, every single line is intentional. Every single line is either me focusing on perspective, form, or just line quality, right? But these we can just kind of go through fast because I think you get the idea. I just kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. Oh, look, more notes here. Step-by-step rules to follow going forward. Again, I kept trying to remind myself, like I'd have to keep thinking about this. Hold the pen halfway, establish horizon line and 2 vanishing points, visualize the box with this established perspective in mind forever. These are the skills I'm trying to build, right? Create box with committed and comfortable pen pressure, always visualizing. Repeat until new cluster. Expect this to take half a year minimum to become proficient in second nature. At this point, I had completely internalized that delayed gratification, think in decades, think in years, not weeks, not months, but years minimum, right? Everything takes time. Milestone number 4, March 1st, 2023, evaluation for next module. That was regarding ArtWad, right? But yeah, like again, I'm just constantly trying to reaffirm to myself to think about specific things, right? More clusters, more lines, more boxes, just kept fucking going off, right? By the way, like underneath all of this are box and cylinder clusters, and then I just fucking line, as you can hopefully see, right? But yeah, see, let's just keep going, more lines, just kept practicing, never stopped, right? Oh, at this point, I think this is when I actually discovered Kim Jong-gi. Yeah, because if that was August, because I took an art class in October in the city that I live in, because I moved here like a couple months prior to the point in like where this is, like this page, and yeah, and then I noticed like I started noticing people talking about brush pen and all that shit. So I got this pen, but this is not the pen, obviously. Oh, there you go. Like at this point, definitely, you know, Kim Jong-gi tried drawing it from reference, but you can see my lines are already a little bit better, more confident, right? Form and perspective don't look that bad considering I'm still trying to understand it. Obviously, these are all form manipulations. I don't understand it to the degree that I should, nowhere near, but. Let's see, 91. Yeah, so started practicing with this pen because I'm like, oh, this is really good for pen pressure sensitivity because it's so thick, right? But funny enough, like then the brush pen, I think this is the brush pen. Okay, this is the brush pen, right? So I'm pretty sure this is the brush pen. Look at these lines, and now look at these lines. These were my first lines. Now look at these, look at that. Now look at this 2 years later, right? That's 2023, 2020. Yeah, look at this line. Now look at this line. Look at these lines. It's all with this fucking pen, by the way. It's all with this pen. Right? And look at these lines. So, oh, by the way, this took like 5 hours. This took like fucking 4 hours. And this entire page is probably, I think, 5 to 6 hours worth, double-sided. So, again, time, patience, take your time, visualize, right? I think I can only say that in like 15 different ways, hopefully. But yeah, I'm really glad I'm making this video because there will be one person, hopefully, who takes my message, which is, you can do it. You are so capable. And here's what capable looks like. Here's what trying to be capable looks like, right? Yeah, this is all with the brush pen. Look at the lines. Look, like there's no fucking... Here, let me bastardize this. See, this is basically what I was doing. This is my level of pen pressure sensitivity that I have. Again, I'm desecrating history here, but it doesn't really matter, right? There you go. That was my sister. She just said I'm awesome, if anybody was wondering. Oh, now look, my cylinder's getting a lot better, right? Really starting to visualize a lot better. Again, drawing box and cylinder clusters and then just fucking going off with the lines. Because at this point, I'm basically a beginner again. There you look. Okay, look at these lines, right? There you go. Here's a better example. These are my brush pen, exact same brush pen. Here are the lines, and this is what is like. It just completely reset my ability in terms of pressure control, line confidence, right? Again, 2 years later, look, same pen, same person. Same effort. This took the same amount of effort, and this took the same amount of effort. But compound effect, consistency, just fucking trying, just keep trying, right? Again, same thing, like fucking alternate pivots, visualize perspective, keep telling myself the same things over and over. Unfinished, but blah, 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 you know, always block out larger shapes, stuff like that. right? Try drawing a gun. You know, again, this was at this point, especially with this pen, it was purely about just getting line mileage, and being comfortable with the keep fucking off centering this page. Yeah, and being comfortable with page 100. There you go, 100, right? Of this set specifically of the cluster practices. But you can see, like, it's getting slowly better, right? Again, lines, like, dude, it's been hours at this point, right? It takes time. But it's not about the time, because time is your ally. Time is the one thing you actually can consider to be a friend, because all you need to do is keep trying and keep failing and keep trying, keep learning and keep failing and focusing only on the effort. And the effort is all that matters. And the mistakes you make are the best things that can ever happen to you. And you just keep reinforcing that mindset and keep trying. Time will do the rest. Time did the rest, right? Like, it did the rest. If you look at my channel, right, it's still all very incremental progress, but over that 1 year, but from the third year and onwards in my channel, at the point of this recording, right, I'm just finishing up that third year. Technically, I've entered my fourth year now, right? Yeah, I'm entering my fourth year. Yeah, it's fucking weird to think about. But anyways, yeah, like, you can achieve a lot in 3 years. You know, again, more lines, or just ellipses, perspective clusters. Yeah, here, like this, you know, constantly shaping the contour, trying to really understand, right? And again, every line was extremely difficult, by the way. I want to keep reiterating, that everything I did had effort behind it. Every single thing I did, to the best of my ability. Again, that's very important. To the absolute best of my ability, had effort behind it. Right? Yeah, this is my schedule. Again, I just kept drawing on shit. Yeah, another gym schedule that I kept going over. Right, page 104. Oh yeah, so the next one's an NDA, so... Is it page 104? Page 105. Oh yeah, see, I drew a random mech. This is from imagination, by the way. So like a year in, and now this is relatively what I can do from imagination, right? But again, like, I don't understand connections, hinges. This is... Actually, no, I think this might have been from reference. But the point is, at least my lines are more confident. But you can see there's still so much to progress, right? This is a year and... This is probably a year in at this point. And that's my mom getting mad at me. Yeah, okay, yeah. There, I just want to make sure. I don't think this is the NDA one. But you see, again, constantly ellipses, cylinder. Again, cylinder is the biggest ROI you can have when it comes to visualizing the planes and the perspective, right? That's just the basic forms. But again, when you train yourself to see it to that extent, okay, this one, 105.5, I have it written down, right? You look at this, so much better now. This is the exponential growth part. It's like, oh, it starts to look legit, right? It starts to look legit. Oh shit, actually that's fine, whatever. At this point, I don't really give a shit. Okay, so I'm not gonna show the back of this because this is where the NDA is. But yeah, see, more practice. Okay, I'm gonna speed through this because I think the video's at 1.5 hours now, and I don't know. Yeah, it's at 1 hour 36 minutes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, please, like, speed through this, I guess, if you can, or just keep me on the background. Go fast, go slow, whatever you gotta do. But I'm just trying to really put into perspective the amount of work it took me, and if you're anything like me, which is extremely average, that you can achieve things. You can achieve things you perceive to be great. Bro, I would have been so happy. Literally, at this level of skill I had here, this would have made me ecstatic. But now I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's fine, it's whatever. We have a lot more to learn and a lot better to do. So that's the mindset you want to have. It's like, it's not that you don't appreciate the work you put in, because we do. We only focus on the effort. It's just, you strive. You have ambition. You keep trying for more things. Right? Again, like, cylinders were the hardest, so just keep trying to have that fucking perspective. I'm seeing this plane, I'm seeing this plane, I'm seeing this plane, I'm seeing this plane. It's also another skill to be able to place them accurately next to each other, in terms of, like, evenly spaced in the center, right? Make sure they're... Also, this was super difficult, like, because it's this plane. This is the plane that it has to be aligned with. So many fucking things. That's why they're sub-skills. That's why they're meta skills, and that's why they require cognitive effort. Right? So, there you go. Cool, just more and more. I think there's another NDA thing coming up. Yeah, no, that's my medical information, actually. Page 121, the page is after 121. But yeah, just fucking, and this is like a year and 4 months in now. Yeah, just kept going. This is all I did, by the way. This is literally all I did. And at the end of the day, this is what it takes to get to the point that I'm at now. For me. And if you're anything like me, oh, see, look at this. Even 1 year and 3 months in, roughly, right? What is this? Like, ew. This is pain, but why? Resistance? Right? Because I was reading the War of Art, or the Art of War. Which one is it? No, the War of Art. Yeah, the War of Art. Right, and he talks about resistance. I didn't finish the book because at that point I'm like, what the fuck, I don't care. Like, let me just keep trying. But I was like, why is this hurting so much? Is that resistance? Because he uses the concept of resistance, which is basically something like a force, he explains that gets in our way when we want to do things. And this is like my medical information, so let's just move that past. Right, and talking more about more angles. Right. Yeah, this is my medical shit, so. But I hope, oh, there you go. January 13th, 20th, and that's how long. Like, those are the days I worked on this, 2024. Right, so, let's see. There it is. I searched up Bumblebee. I decided to draw him. Look at that. I have no understanding of the mechanical shapes. And this is actually way more complicated. I started adding a bunch of shit that wasn't even in the drawing. Oh shit, my battery's about to die. Fuck. I need to switch to a new mic. Give me a sec. This is why I got a new mic. This is literally why. There you go. Okay, I think it's all connected, right? Oh, it's not connected. Hold up. I think it's connected now. Let me just move this. Maybe I'll edit this part out as well. But okay, I'm back. Nothing probably changed on your ends, but I was just my mic was dying. Apparently, it's a fucking lie because the show was supposed to last 6 hours, but clearly not. But either way, what I was saying is, this is the result of all the form and all the drawings and stuff I did, right? So, yeah, all that practice resulted in being able to do this, right? And proportions are decent, everything is decent. It's okay. Anyways, more practice, right? Really trying to get creative with the cylinder plus the perspective clusters. This is also a different skill, by the way. Having to cut out having to literally stop drawing your lips but still visualize the entire thing. That's so difficult when something is blocking it. It's super difficult, extremely hard, right? There, yeah, more practice. We're basically getting to the end of it, right? I started doing their lenses thing. Artwad had like a lenses, like drawing in different lenses, right? And it was a table. You can see, like, even with all that practice, it's still so hard to converge and diverge and all these things, right? So it's what it is. Oh, okay, and then this is like an imagination drawing that I tried. Before I did officially started with my Kim Jong-il series, right? Earlier this year in like April or something, or February. This was my attempt. And you can tell, like, just through sheer fundamentals, not understanding anything, I was actually able to create something like this from imagination, right? So yeah, May 29th, 2024. So that's a year and a half in, right? Cool. More pages, more practice. I was drawing on so much shit, bro. I was drawing on like cutout pages, right? Look at that, like things were getting cut out and I was still drawing on them. I don't know why I went to that extent, but I think I just, I was, and I still am, just really into art. Who would have fucking thought that an entire hour and 45-minute video would be about me being like, hey guys, I think I actually like art quite a bit. Who would have fucking thought? But anyways, okay, this video is definitely gonna like die soon because I can feel my storage. I can feel my storage just getting filled up, right? Look at fucking storage bukkake. Sorry, cream pie. There you go. That was inappropriate. I should have said the right word, which was cream pie. But we fixed it. There you go, page 125. That was like a reference drawing I tried from Pinterest, right? More. See, again, just constantly trying to make these perspective clusters as interesting as possible. Is it poopy? Oh yeah, because I was like, look how diverging it is. See, it's still hard for me to zoom out on a larger perspective scale. And I'd say even now I still have that. But you can only focus on so many things at a time, right? So first I need to obviously consistently work on my perspective and my form and complicated shapes. And you know, those imagination drawings really help with thinking in a more grand scale. Here's when I really started making my perspective clusters more interesting. It's funny that I stopped after this too though. Like here, you know, again, taking notes. Wonky perspective, cool idea, plus decent implementation. Yeah, see, like this, having things around them, right? Taking notes really helped me at that time. Again, this is what I'm visualizing, by the way. This is literally what I'm visualizing, like, as in my mind while I'm drawing. Like, that's what I'm, to the best of my ability, that's what I'm visualizing. Yeah, and this is the second last page, right? And here it is. Here's the last page, right? There it is. Oh, shit. Centered now. There it is. So, I hope this put into perspective for you. I guess let me just bring the entire chunk over, right? I hope this, fuck, is it centered? God damn it, bro. I literally cannot even be inspirational when I want to. But anyways, I hope this put into perspective for you, not only that there are specific things that can be worked on when it comes to drawing, but that you can work on them. This is the amount of work it takes, and that work is not inherently bad. It is inherently difficult, but that doesn't mean it is inherently bad, because all that matters is the effort we put in. Focus on the effort, focus on the errors, and derive enjoyment from them. That's all that matters, right? I hope this resonated with at least somebody. I hope it really puts into context as an honest representation of what hard work looks like when it comes to practicing in art, and the fact that I'm just a normal guy. I'm literally just a normal guy. Like, need I remind you that this, what is it, like my first couple boxes, yeah, need I remind you that my first couple my boxes look like this, right? This is like the first month. This is, what is it, the 13th month, I believe, right? Oh no, like the 17th month, something like that. I'm gonna try to center this, but yeah. I hope this helped. I hope if anything, if there's anything you took away from me, is that the effort you put in, especially regarding art, the cognitive effort you put in, the few things you can focus on once, just consistently trying, keep working, keep improving, keep trying, and that's all that matters, that you're trying. And that the fundamentals are the biggest ROI, okay? The fundamentals are the biggest return on investment that you can make, and we can train ourselves to enjoy them. You can enjoy difficult things because you're not shying away from you're not shying away from the fact that you want to practice. I'm assuming, this is an assumption, right? I'm assuming vast majority of beginners, just like myself, are shying away from doing difficult things, right? But when you do difficult things, you increase your ability to continue to do difficult things. This is just evidence that I can do difficult things. This is just evidence that I can do difficult things. Because every single one of these were extremely fucking difficult. And that's the state we want to be in. We want to be in the state where we can just constantly try and put in as much effort as we can. Because that has inherent value. Human effort, your effort has inherent value. So you can do it. You can, and again, I'm below average. I'm fucking like, I was not meant to be able to do this. I genuinely believe I was, and I hope that my progress shows that, oh shit, this guy literally will not, like, he could not get it for months and months and months and months and months. Like, he just could not get it until, again, exponential growth, things click and you just keep going and you start getting it, right? So, and there's a million things I don't get now, and when I die, there will be a million things I would have never gotten. But the beauty is in the trying. The beauty is in, and you know, like, oh, it's all about the journey, oh, it's all about the journey, but like, the beauty genuinely is in the trying, and we can train ourselves to only focus on the trying, and there are obviously things that have the best benefit in where you try. So the fundamentals of line, form, and perspective are the best things you can try, or like the most important things you can try towards. They are not boring. This is not boring. Does it look boring to you? No, that does not look boring, right? This does not look boring. This does not look boring. This does not look boring, right? We can, you know, fucking set aside actual critiques on like, well, this could use work, that could use work, sure. But they're not boring in the sense that they're easy to do. You know, they are not, there's not a lack of stimulation when it comes to doing or seeing these, right? So, yeah, the fundamentals are not boring. You are boring. Clearly, we can push ourselves with just boxes and cylinders, by the way. We can clearly push ourselves to make interesting shapes. So if you cannot make simple shapes look interesting, why bother making anything more complex? I'm quoting Antonio, quoting the person who taught him at a workshop. It's like a fucking multi-quote all around, right? It's a quote, human centipede, but either way, yeah, I hope this really helps someone out there, because like this is the only time I actually genuinely felt like when I talk about this, like this progress, I don't ever want to forget the work I put in. So I hope now that it's immortalized in video, that you understand that you can do it. I'm gonna keep regurgitating shit, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope this helps. That was a long video, right? I genuinely hope this helped. And with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, evidently, right? Keep drawing, and please, give me money.